The following video contains language, subject matter, and topics that would be considered offensive to the easily triggered or just flat out wrong. You've been warned, stupid little snowflakes. Did you watch Evil Bong yet?
I have not had an opportunity. Well, actually, I have. Fortunately, I could not remember the name of it. So when I went to look it back up, I could not figure it out.
This video is not sponsored by Curiosity Stream off of Nebula.
Because we're not a bunch of virtue signaling hipsters who are in their own bubble.
No thanks to you.
I mean, come on.
You ain't gonna watch this video, but if you do, like, comment, and subscribe.
And if you really like what you see here, support us on Patreon. What's up?
Tis I, your fearless leader, and we're back with WorldWar Joe. And if you didn't know, I'm a big wrestling fan. I was all about the Attitude Era, and I'm a big fan of wrestling history. One of my favorite shows is Dark Side of the Ring, and movies about wrestling too, such as the tearjerker that is the Von Erich's life story, The Iron Claw.
Yeah, I went into that movie not knowing a single solitary thing at all. I did not want to spoil it at all for me.
What the fuck?
What do you mean the father's not going to call the son that, oh, I'm going to kill myself?
I knew about everything because one of my old financiers, he's a big wrestling historian, which I knew everything was going to happen. I just didn't know that the oldest Von Erich was the last survivor.
There was actually one that they didn't even have in the movie, I think.
Come on.
I went to a midget wrestling event.
Still have those?
Well, they had it at the Whiskey.
I thought those were like banned now. Hell yeah.
The headlining match, you know what it was? Mini Amber Heard versus Mini Johnny Depp.
Nice.
And Bridget the Midget was there.
No, I thought she was dead, dude.
No. We have a mutual friend. My friend Sam, who I went to high school with, was a roadie when she had a band called Blackout.
Oh, wow. How's she look, dude?
She looks better. Before we continue, let's get to today's sponsor, Nebula, off of Curiosity Stream. Nah, do I look like a fucking virtue signaling fucking douche? Do I look like I'm one of the Lindsay bitches who suck Ryan Johnson's dick? Fuck that shit. No thanks to you. And okay, here's what's funny about Dark Side of the Ring. It's Vice, so they're very biased. You see me watch Dark Side of Comedy? Oh god, I was so pissed off when I was watching it.
I mean, come on.
The fact that they justified Carlos Mencia's joke stealing and the episodes about the Dice Man and Sam Kinison.
It just proof about leftist pinko commies policing comedy like they always do. Because they wouldn't know comedy if it bit in the ass. I mean, come on. They like to censor everything to the victimized bullshit that they are. So fuck that shit. As for Dark Side of the Ring, it's biased, but it's a good bias. For one, it's narrated by the most disgruntled employees of WWE, in my opinion. Chris Jericho, who obviously went to the rival company, basically to say fuck you to Vince McMahon. First two seasons, got your basic stories, you know, like Match Made in Heaven, Hot Girl Screwjob, Killing of Bruiser Brody, the Von Erich family, hence serious death of Gorgeous Gino, Fabulous Moolah, but it almost seemed like they were defending her in a way.
Nigga, please.
That evil cunt ran a brothel and called himself a wrestling camp. She also put a monkey wrench in the women's division of WWF for decades. That's why in the golden years we really didn't see women wrestlers. We saw, let's be real here, overglorified valets or managers. That's Vice for you. Defending the sinners and condemning the saints. Because woke ass bitches.
Then we got our first two-parter with the Chris Benoit story.
which less said about it, the better. It's fucked up. Then, you know, stuff like Jack.
I may have been the last person he yelled at online, and I think I may have caused his heart attack. I talked to him on Facebook. I thought it was a Facebook page about him, but it was his actual page, and he was saying, he was asking the audience what company should he sign with. And I said, well, based on his drug history and violence, I don't think any company would take him. He should probably stick to the independents. And then very quickly I learned it was the actual New Jack, because he commented on every post I had and every picture, just a continuous train of thought calling me a honky cracker. And then the next day he had a heart attack and died. Some say of a broken heart, some say the years and years of drugs. I may have killed him.
And then...
For all, Willie Smoka, who apparently murdered somebody, assassination of Gino Bravo, David Schultz and the slap heard around the world, King Cowboy Boots, the last ride of Road Warriors, the final days of Owen Hart. So you got your like basic stories, and they do show a lot of bias. We get to, in my opinion, the best season of the entire show, starting with a two-parter with Brian Pillman. Then we get Nick Gage, the collision of Korea. So far, so good, right? Except for the Ultimate Warrior one. Because this is the one time where you could really milk your bias and you drop a motherfucking ball. It was the most disappointing episode. Can I share the same birthday? June 16th. Same with Tupac. Nice. Yeah. 616.
Shut up and get to the point!
Okay, long story short, everybody hated the Ultimate Warrior behind the scenes. He was a prima donna douche who did too much steroids and cocaine. And then the episode just skipped the most important thing that would actually benefited from your bias, which is after he basically left wrestling or retired from wrestling, he went into politics in Arizona, went on the most homophobic, transphobic.
You know, shit you guys fucking hate jerk off to, and you didn't even talk about
He
it.
just basically talked about his heyday and then skipped all the way to getting into WWE Hall of Fame, then he fucking croaks.
Why would you do that? Why would you do any of that?
I guess it's because they were competing with A&E's biography.
Your Vice, libtard fucking bullshit fucking channel.
Nigga, please.
But then the following episode of Dark Side of the Ring totally redeems the show. It's the greatest follow-up to Beyond the Mat. The big thing that stood out was Jake the Snake Roberts' story, how his mom had him at 13 years old and blah, 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 that one.
Who is his dad?
The Grizzly Smith story tells all. Starts off as a wrestling bio, and then each minute it turns more and more into a true crime. Where I go to non-wrestling fans and say, no, you don't like wrestling, but you need to see this episode. It did not disappoint. She's like,
Oh my God, it's getting worse.
like, you find out how much of a, what? Is your wife into true crime?
A little bit here and there.
Then watch that episod. The Dynamite Kid, The Plane Ride from Hell, The Double Life of Chris Canyon, Blood and Wire, Carlitos FMW, Bikers, Bombs, and Bedlam, The Many Faces of Luna, which is, I love that one. I mean, come on! Her and Gangrel got matching vampire bites. Then we get to one of my favorite episodes, PW. It was a rival to ECW. It was a West Coast version, basically, affiliated with a porn company called Extreme Associates.
That was a good start.
Oh no, it gets better. I know from firsthand about them because I knew ISIS. And she went from like an 18-year-old virgin to going into porn like within 6 months, and she was part of Extreme Associates. If you think their wrestling was hardcore, their porno was worse.
So what happened in their porn?
So one time she was in the office, and this girl got paid $1,000 for a bunch of guys to shit, puke, and piss and jerk off into a blender. Drink it, puke it up, drink it, puke it up, drink it, puke it up. This is before 2 Girls, 1 Cup. Yeah, that's how hardcore their shit is.
The extreme always seems to make an impression.
Because I remember, like, this Alice in Wonderland / Matrix bar in the heart of the San Fernando Valley. Every time we get off the freeway, I'll go, hey, that's where Rev's PGI was.
What the fuck are you talking about?
This is like early 2000s, right? And you go on the website and you just, see a naked girl, but I want to order these girls to do these pornos.
Yes.
It was like borderline trafficking of girls. And Rev's PGI worked with Extreme Associates. In fact, you know that song Free Falling by Tom Petty? Literally about that. Good girls from the valley who go into porn.
It's easy money, you know.
The porn industry now is kind of like falling because of OnlyFans and shit like that.
I will never understand how OnlyFans works. I'm saying, like, in theory, but it's like, why would anyone pay for it when you have literally the internet?
Because people have no social skills anymore. When you met your wife, did you meet her on a dating app or did you meet her in person like a regular person?
I actually met her on a dating app.
We end the season with steroid trials, which was kind of boring. And then for some fucking random reason, thought the show was canceled. Then years later, I finally caught up with season 4 and 5. Not really that many memorable episodes, we'll say, but the only ones that really stood out to me was the Bam Bam Bigelow episode, the Earthquake episode for Marty Jannetty, and of course, the follow-up to the Grizzly Smith episode, the one with Sensational Sherry, who actually has a major history with them. I'm done with this bullshit. Like, you're not gonna watch this, but if you do like what you see here, comment, like, dislike, share it if you want. I go into more detail, but I'm just trolling you anyway. I mean, after all, you all can suck me. Shout out to my patron.
I heard a Jim Cornette thing about it, and then I watched it, and then this guy, he came on my, because of course, you know, the internet's listening to my phones every second. So then, of course, it was being pushed to me everywhere on Facebook.
Wow.
It's like, cool, let me look up this guy. Oh, hey, a Facebook group about him. Let's talk about him. Oh, no.